Okay, so here we are, January 1, 2024. This is the official date under which you can file your beneficial ownership information report that is required for all entities filed with your Secretary of State. If you are not an exempt entity, you must file. If you formed your entity prior to January 1, 2024, you have until January 1, 2025 to file without penalty. If you formed your entity anytime on January 1 and after, you have 60 days without penalty. Okay, so it is free to file, but it is not free to not file. So I'm going to click beneficial ownership information. Okay, and it's going to take me to fincen.gov/BOI. Okay, now I'm going to click file a report using the BOI e-filing system. If you create a FinCEN ID, which is optional, it makes life a lot easier because you're assigned a series of digits, and it fills out a lot of your information for you. Okay, but if you want to do it manually, that's fine. So we're going to go ahead into the BOI e-filing system, and we're going to file a BOIR, Beneficial Ownership Information Report. And you have two options, okay? The first one is to prepare the beneficial ownership information report and then submit it separately. The second one is to prepare and submit online. It's fairly easy. So I'm going to go ahead and click the second option. For most of us, it's the initial report, okay? And I want to bring your attention to the tabs up here. There are 5: filing information, reporting company, company applicants, beneficial owners, that would be you if you're the owner, and the submit button. Okay, so for most of us, it would be the initial report. Now, for those of you who have a change of ownership in your entity, perhaps you had 4 partners and now you have 2 or 3, you would go ahead and update. Okay, if you have some misinformation on a prior report, you would come back in here and you would correct it. Okay, and then the date is going to be auto-filled. All right, and then it's going to give you some good verbiage about the purpose of collecting the data. Okay, which includes anti-money laundering, okay, countering the financing of terrorism and such. So we're going to hit next, and then you're going to plug in the company's reporting legal name. It's very, very easy, right? We're under the second tab, reporting company, okay, and then you're going to put in your tax identification type. That could be the EIN, your social security number, okay? For most of us, foreign isn't valid. And then you would plug in your EIN number or tax ID number. Let's just say you chose an EIN. You'd plug in your EIN number, no dashes, okay? Now, you're not going to fill in number 9 if you're not a foreign tax ID, okay? And then you're going to choose your country, which for most of us is the United States of America. You're going to choose your state of formation, okay? Most of us don't need the tribal jurisdiction or the name of other tribe. And you're going to plug in your company's address. Remember, we're under reporting company, your company's address. And then you're going to hit next, okay? And then we're going to go under company applicants, all right? Now, if you're already an existing entity, right? I've hovered over it, okay? Right here. If you're already an existing entity, right? You formed prior to January 1, 2024, you can go ahead and click this button, okay? Okay, so when existing reporting company is indicated, all company applicant fields will be clear and disabled. Yes, okay. So we're going to go ahead and scroll. This is if you already exist, okay? You've already formed your entity. Then you have your beneficial owners. That would be the people who have the controlling interest, okay? So you're going to plug in your last name, your first name, middle name, your date of birth, okay? Now, you're going to plug in your address here if it's different from the company address, okay? Now, again, if you have a FinCEN ID, you would plug in your FinCEN ID, and all of this would just go away because it would identify you via your ID with the already populated fields, okay? So then you would have to fill out all of this. And then you would have to select your document type, state-issued driver's license, passport, state, local, tribe issued ID, foreign passport. You have to plug in the identifying number. So if you have a license, it'd be your license number and such. All right. So your address here, not the company, but your address, your information. Okay. And this is if you don't have a FinCEN ID. And then you would have to upload maybe a picture of your license or otherwise. And then you would hit next. Okay. And this is where you give your email, you confirm your email, your first and last name, you agree and then you hit I am human, and then submit BOIR. Now, I just want to say, if you have a FinCEN ID, it makes life a lot easier. You would just go ahead and plug it in. It's an ID created with the Department of Treasury. It just makes life easier, particularly when you want to correct a report, update a report. You don't have to fill out a lot of information because you already have the ID. All right, so I hope this helps. And let's report before we have a fee.